All right, let's get to this. Damian Lillard, and look, let's just keep it real. The Portland Trailblazers, they not having a good season. It's been rough for our man Chauncey Billups in his first year as a head coach. They are 13 and 27 games below 500. Now, C.J. McCollum's been out, but, still. They're down there with the Pelicans and the Thunder and the Kings. I mean, just having a tough go of it. And Damian Lillard, though, loyal to the soil, is intent on staying in Portland and seeing if he can get things going there. And, Rob, he talked today on Reddit. He said this in the past, but he said it again today about how there are things that, playing in the NBA isn't all about winning the championship. Let's put it that way. Here he is.
We play in an era right now where it's, you get criticized for not winning a ring, as if it's not the hardest thing to do in sports. And there's so many people who play a full career and just never achieve that because it's so hard to do and so many things have to be aligned. That's why people love and cherish that moment so much. And that's why we, do all the things that we do to have an opportunity at it, because it's such a hard thing to accomplish. So I don't believe in the ring or bust thing. I'm not a fan of that. And that's why I don't play my career to that narrative. I'm not making every decision like, oh.
All right, well, there, Rob, go ahead. There he is.
I think he's right from his standpoint, and he's not. When we talk about that, there's only a handful of guys who feel like they're so talented that they need to validate their career. Like LeBron would have been the ultimate.
And it's not just they feel like it, Rob.
Right.
Right.
But LeBron panicked, Chris. We talked about it before. He felt like he's the chosen one. He was supposed to be the next Jordan, and after the first 7-8 years or whatever it was in Cleveland, like, 7. Oh my God, like I'm not going to win. And we believe he would have won had he stayed there. He was that good. But anyway, I don't think Damian Lillard's under the same umbrella. I don't. Right. I don't think that he has to win, or people go, oh, I can't believe Damian Lillard played all those years in Portland and didn't win a championship. No, I don't believe that anybody will say that or anybody will look at him sideways. So I think he's right to adapt that. It's not that he doesn't want to win, but it's not going to be the end-all, be-all. Reggie Miller had a great career in Indianapolis, right? Yep. And he did. Yep. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He had great playoff series.
Dude,
he had
the legend. Yep.
A legendary player. Patrick Ewing, you're going to tell me that he doesn't count?
Now, Ewing was, Robbie, you mentioned, and you're absolutely right, a LeBron James, a Kevin Durant,
Ewing needed to win with New York.
Right.
Yep,
they had to win. And we saw LeBron say, look, man, I got to make sure I get this monkey off my back and win, right? Then I can do whatever I want to do. Kevin Durant, same thing. Let me get – and he even seemed more so like, let me just go to Golden State, give me some rings, and then do whatever I want to do. Get that monkey off my back. And Patrick Ewing was in that group, as you know, Rob. Like, he was one that you viewed as, man, he got to get a ring, and he didn't. He's still a Hall of Famer, and people know him as an all-time great player. But, Rob, people do think of him as, man, he was awesome, but he never won that ring. But Damian, they're not going to think that because he's not on that level as great as he is.
Exactly. But I do understand why he's looking at it that way and not feeling compelled to go somewhere else and do something. You never know how these things work. And, you just saw I think like a guy like Giannis bucked the trend. He was a guy, people look at him and his numbers and what he's done and his awards, Chris, that if he would have stayed in Milwaukee, never won, people would have said it was a wasted career. I don't care what awards he won, what numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been an all-time great and blah.
Yeah,
that, like
but I'm just saying, but people would have felt
looked
like
at him. That would have been one of the first thoughts, but he never won a ring.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Damian Lillard's not in that class, so I just don't think. Charles Barkley's had a tremendous career without a ring. There's other players who haven't won.
Well, and also Damian is at being a small guard, 6'3" at most. I don't even think he's really 6'3". That also is why he's not in that group where it's like you gotta win a ring. There have only been 2 small guards to lead teams to championships: Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, the legend in Detroit. That's it. That's it. All the other great, Allen Iverson, John Stockton, Steve Nash. We could go on and on, Rob. None of the other smaller guards, normal-sized point guards, led teams to championships.
Just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
So nobody's going to look at Damian like, oh, man, yeah, but he never. No. And here's the other. Let me throw out, Rob, and we've talked about this with all careers, all fields of endeavor. Let's just keep it real. I bet every NBA player wants to win a championship. But there are a lot of other reasons that dudes play in the NBA. Here, I'm going to throw out a few. Money, obviously. That's the first and foremost. Money, all right? It changes your life and the life of your family, all right, for generations. Then there's wanting to be an individual superstar, right? Let's keep it real. A lot of dudes get into it because I want to make money and I want to be a star. If I don't win a championship, I'm competitive. I'm playing a sport, so I want to win, but I want to be a freaking star.
But also, you go in and you realize, too, everybody can't win a championship. It's just not possible. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you want to win one, but a lot of things, he mentioned it, the stars aligning, a lot of stuff have to happen for you and it work out for you. But everybody realizes no matter how good you are, how much you want it, sometimes it just doesn't happen for certain people. And a number of people. During the Michael Jordan era, Chris, we talk about all the time. We could name 12 Hall of Famers. Didn't even sniff it, right? 12.
Right. Yeah, so I just think there are a lot of other reasons that guys play. And yeah, and he's right. It doesn't mean you're not an all-time great player, Hall of Famer, and you won't. When you retire, Allen Iverson, nobody's thinking about he didn't win a ring. They just give him love, you know. Barkley, yeah, he was so great. He's a big player, you know, a power forward. We do think, well, he never won a ring, but still, that doesn't hurt him. Everybody gives him love. So I just think that there is that factor. But this one thing I would say, Rob, it does matter. Like, if Steph Curry didn't have a ring, would he be ranked ahead of Damian Lillard? Or Kyrie Irving?
No.
You know, I mean, maybe some would, some wouldn't. Like, if you just, the eye test, Steph, Dame, Kyrie, Tiny Archibald.
No, winning matters.
Steve, right? You could just look at them and then it's in the eye of the beholder. I like Dame style. I like Steph. But the fact that Steph won rings, that puts him, he's going to be ahead of those guys, period.
No, I agree with that.
And that's not just, Steph happened to be in the right place, right? No, Steph was good enough where you could build a championship team around him. And as good as Dame is, he ain't. Dame won't be the lead. In my view, he won't be the lead guy on the championship team. He can be number 2.
Right.
I don't think he's good. That's no slight. There's only been 2 guys, Steph and Isaiah.
That's the reason why he won't get criticized ultimately, or people won't look at him sideways, Chris, because they
good point.
Right. They're just the expectation is not there.
Right.
Because
there are guys, Rob.
His approach is smart. His approach is smart to think on that level, like it ain't the end of the world.
But here, and I'll say this, because like I said, everybody wants to be the man, right? When you play sports, let's keep it real. You want to be the man. I want to be the man. And sometimes you realize in college I wasn't the man. And so then you settle into, okay, I'll be a role player.
You were like, that dude over there knocking down those 3-pointers, that's the man over there.
Some people are better than me, you know?
Right.
And then you settle in, okay, I'm going to be a great role player. But if you've got the man ability, then you want to be the man. And I'm going to say it, Rob. If I was like a superstar, if I was like a Dame Lillard, Lillard, I would not want to go somewhere and be a role player just to get a ring. I would want to stay where I'm at, get my 25, 30 points, be an all-star, be an all-NBA, and all that.
Be a top
now,
75.
I would, Rob, and this may be where me and Dame differ. I would be willing to go somewhere and be the second guy. Like, I would be willing to go to Philadelphia and play with Joel Embiid and understand, okay, he's the first option. I'm the second guy. But I'm still a star. You know what I'm saying? I'm still getting mine. And I think that's a big thing. And so let me throw this out at you. And we'll throw this to the callers, too. Would you rather be, for all the rings or ring or bust guys, to use Damian's language, would you rather be Patrick Ewing or Derek Fisher? Would you rather be Charles Barkley or Robert Horry? Right? I'd rather be Barkley and Ewing. I'm sorry.
I agree.
You know? I mean, come on.